Let's look at some more factoring. Let's say I'm asked to factor 4x squared plus 40x plus 96. Now, all of these, when you factor, you should always look to see at the very beginning if they have a common factor. And you might have to pick your calculator up to see that 24 times 4 is 96. So I actually could factor a 4 out, which is nice because that makes an x squared, which is easier to factor. So I divide each term by 4. So that becomes 1, that becomes 10x, and as I mentioned, 96 divided by 4 would be 24. Now I have something that I think I can factor because x squared is always just x. Everything is positive, so I know both of these will be positive. I think of 24 as 6 times 4, and 6 plus 4 is 10. And I get my answer. Let's try another one. So let's get a little more difficult. 5x cubed minus 40x squared plus 75x. Now, I would look at this and say, but we ain't done nothing with those cubes that high. But notice every single term has an x, so I probably could factor that out. And I see they all end in 5 or 0, so I probably could even factor out a 5. So I factor out 5x, that leaves me with what, x squared, minus divide this by 5x would leave me with 8x. And then divide this by 5x would leave me with 15. And now to factor this, I know my x. This, when the middle term is negative, but the last term is positive, I know I need a negative times a negative. I know 5 times 3 will give me 15, and then add will give me that 8x. Let's go over here. What if I have 2x to the 4th minus 30x squared plus 112. Eesh. Only thing I notice is that they're all even, so I could divide them all by 2. I'm not sure yet how that's going to help me, but we will see. Plus 56, 112 divided by 2. Now, notice here, even though this is x to the 4th, isn't x squared times x squared x to the 4th? So it's not too bad. I remember my multiplication tables that 8 times 7 is 56. When the middle number is negative and the last number is positive, negative, and a negative. So when you start to look at these type of problems, always look to see first, do they have something in common that you could factor out and make it a lot nicer to be able to then factor from there.